Welcome to the MickRed Movie Podcast, episode 1 or 2 or whatever we decide if we have like another intro one. But anyways, this is the first one we've done. Tonight we're talking about Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and we recorded our conversation at a Waffle House just after watching the movie. All of this was recorded prior to getting on the internet and seeing all the stuff everybody's talking about, so it's pretty raw and straight from our viewing of watching the movie. Audio quality isn't the greatest because it was recorded indoors in a restaurant, so you can hear a lot of background conversations and things like that, but I think we cleaned it up enough to be enjoyable. Also, We're Live Fancast listeners will probably recognize TopNotch's voice from the intro to the Fancast. And every now and then I have to mess with the recording device, and this is kind of funny, because I got to log the timestamp that Ash on the podcast uses explicit language, so it kind of messes with the audio, but it adds to a little bit of hilarity at points, because he really can't control himself. And I've got to log it to try to keep it clean for our parents and for trying to maintain a clean rating, all that good stuff. But anyways, if you're interested in interacting with the show, you can email us at mickrednetwork@gmail.com, mickrednetwork@gmail.com, or tweet to me at mickginger0@gmail.com. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you've seen Rogue One, because there's going to be lots of spoilers. Anyways, and enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, recording, that's all.
Is you recording? Okay.
This is for a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
All right.
great. I gotta watch my language again.
I'm sure you can
Or
edit.
little baby.
Anyway, there's children around here, so maybe that would be good enough for you.
Get all
My
those
kids, those your
emojis?
kids?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right. I won't embarrass
All right. So let me start off by early in the movie when they were on the prison transport,
Yeah.
and and all of a sudden, the explosion, or they stopped for a second, and that first stormtrooper number 1 was like, "What's this all about?" Second stormtrooper was like, "I don't know, it's probably blah, blah, blah." I'm convinced that stormtrooper number 2 was Willem Dafoe.
I mean, he immediately was like, that's Willem Dafoe. I'm like, it's still
Really?
a Stormtrooper.
I believe
think so.
James Bond was in the last one.
How
I
they do
didn't
the
catch it.
celebrity
I didn't catch
stormtrooper
it.
thing?
Oh, awesome.
The voice sounded
Appreciate
just
it,
like
man.
Willem Dafoe.
That's
I was
great.
like,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
got to be him.
You want some sugar, baby?
I'm a big Willem Dafoe fan.
Yeah.
So
He's got a very distinctive voice. So.
he does.
Yeah.
So it stuck
Water?
out to me.
Water.
For me too.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
I'm thinking hard about that bacon and cheese, man. It'll be good.
Yeah, I want one too.
I mean, it's after Star Wars.
Or maybe I'll just get
Is there
never-ending hash browns.
is there creamer behind there?
No, they gotta have it.
No, we're gonna need creamer though.
Yeah.
I know that.
Hopefully it's half and half.
Where's our spoon?
I don't know.
I can't measure out I have to have a precise amount of sugar. I'm very disciplined about the amount of sugar intake.
Okay.
I have to have.
Okay, let's go get him a spoon.
I have to have
I'm gonna
it.
go get you a spoon.
Wait,
not gonna
this
work.
doesn't work.
Obviously.
I know.
He's using a fork to pour sugar into to try to measure it, I guess.
Oh, no, I need creamer. Actually, what I do, I replace sugar with honey in my
That's
coffee
good.
in the morning.
Good shit. I like that. Sorry, my bad.
Already off to a good start.
Oh, yeah.
Bad word. It's just a gross word.
It's a gross word.
It's a dirty
He didn't
word.
go totally corn on us there, so that's good.
Wow, it's actually not bad without creamer.
It's gonna come up sometime now. You put that in the back of my mind. I gotta ask one thing. I completely missed it. I think we were talking about something.
I felt bad for Bobby missing the first appearance of Darth Vader.
Right.
Which was not as good as
I was
the second
thinking,
appearance.
I kept thinking, we're in a sappy part. I got time,
Dude, that was Vader's castle.
Yeah, was that Mustafar?
Oh, really?
Whoever it was, that was Vader's castle, for sure.
See, now I don't know if y'all are messing with me.
No.
Vader's
Vader's
lava castle.
Lava Castle.
Oh, no kidding?
And he's in a bacta tank.
So what I'm assuming is when he was pulled out the fire, he decided, you know what?
I'm going to make this my home base.
Make this my home base. Why not?
Make it my B
He's got the
word.
high ground now if he wants.
So, wasn't that a mining planet or something? That whole
Yeah.
lava planet
I mean,
thing?
it could have been another mining planet. I mean, another lava
That's
planet.
pretty.
but-
I hate that I missed it. I'll see it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll see it on number 2, 3, and fourth times I go.
Well, you've seen the
yeah.
trailer where the guy's kneeling in front of what looks like floaty, smoky back to tank.
Yeah.
One of his acolytes comes in and is all like, Lord Vader. Krennic is here.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that exciting, but it was just kind of cool.
That's just like, that reminds me of that funny video that you showed me where Lord Vader comes in, he says Lord Vader, and
That'd be great. You can just keep filling the tank back up and bringing it back down.
Vader's a jerk.
What a tedious job.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, it is. Like when it came down low enough, it was just foggy, but you could tell that his arms were both missing.
Right.
And it was just like this kind of junk coming out.
Like maybe he was trying to heal himself slowly. In the old books, that was what he was trying to do. He was always trying to heal himself.
Or he's so messed up he has to constantly
Yeah,
take
that's what I'm
back the
thinking.
treatments.
To keep himself alive.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta take a bath in Neosporin every day.
Oh, man.
So we just saw Rogue One. I'm Mick. This is GunShow.
Bob.
Ash
Yeah, sure.
and
Billy D.
TopNotch.
You know I really hate that feeling.
I know, so I keep using it.
TopNotch, all right.
I told the interviewer, your
Are you not gonna?
He goes, what do you know him by? And I said, oh, William. But I mean, I call him Will. I mean, I know he prefers William at the time.
Yeah, I guess so.
He was
He was
dubbed
dubbed
you can call him Billy D.
He was
And
dubbed that by
he looked at me and went,
Red Beard.
no, really, don't call him
I
Billy
thought
D.
the Ash was a good idea. Back on.
The guy called
He
him
went by
Billy D.
Ash on the comic podcast.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be your friend. I know this.
No, seriously, you can't do that because whatever happened in '99, he refers back to that. So,
Billy D does?
no.
What? I don't understand.
Well, he referred back to '99. Everything. Well, okay. Have you ever been in a fight or something? I said no. He said, what about '99? I said, what about '99?
Kramer. Was it Kramer?
Yeah.
That's my bad. I should have got up and just said, can I get some
Okay,
creamer?
one thing I was going to ask, though, in that one scene, where he mentions Obi-Wan or a Jedi Master that's been in hiding.
He's talking about Obi-Wan.
What were they asking? What was did she say? Can you get somebody to help us? Why did he bring that up? Is what I didn't catch.
I didn't think that was Obi-Wan. I thought that was...
No, that was Bail.
Oh, they were talking about.
That's Bail Organa, who is Leia's adopted father.
Yeah, but
Right.
Why did he mention Obi-Wan? That's why I didn't catch.
I don't think he mentioned him by name.
Well, why did he mention a
Mon
Jedi?
Mothma mentioned him. She said, your Jedi friend. And he was like, yeah.
He's been in hiding after the
Was
purge.
she asking him to get some help? I guess.
I guess so. I don't know what she was asking for.
So we didn't know.
Really, you going to share half and
missed
half?
it.
You're just going to keep the whole
I mean,
half
you can
half?
probably bring some more. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
No problem. Okay, so was it a Star Wars movie? Go around round table here.
It's off recording, isn't it?
Oh, it's recording.
I thought you turned it off and we start talking about stuff.
It should be recording.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
good.
recording. Star Wars movie.
Was it one?
Was it a Star Wars movie, Ash?
Yeah, it was. Yes. Like it right. I mean, I'm on a high right now from watching the movie. It might be my favorite Star
Maybe you
Wars
should
movie.
sleep on it first.
I'm not to sleep on it. I'm just saying, I'm just going to preliminarily put this out there that I liked it better than Force Awakens, even though Force Awakens was more nostalgic and had a lot of throwbacks, made me feel good.
Yeah.
Like, just staying alone, enjoyed the movie.
There's something about a beginning and an end movie.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
And I think as it stands, if I had to pick my favorite, like, what am I going to watch? You know, some random Friday. Probably be this one. At least right now. Good. Very good.
Top notch.
Well, I think it's a Star Wars movie. It was a movie where they took all the main characters out, and we were able to enjoy the movie. I mean, we're so used to having all the main characters there. This time we didn't have the main characters, and I felt very happy and hopeful for this movie.
Yeah.
And it was a great movie.
Like a fresh start.
It's a great fresh start.
Okay, so yeah, I think it was a Star Wars movie. It started out kind of rocky. I didn't know because all the Star Wars movies for me start out kind of like, I don't know. It seems like they're trying to be a Star Wars movie, but at some point it turns into a Star Wars movie. Especially by the end, it's got the same thing they always do. They got somebody on the ground or somebody somewhere on their feet doing something, and then there's a space battle,
Ground battle, air
or
battle.
some kind of atmospheric battle going on at the same time. I mean, all that going on. Plus, it freaking had Darth Vader.
Gosh.
Jeez.
I was really getting sad towards the end. I was like, well, I guess we're not going to see him anymore.
That's what I thought.
And then after I had a fleeting moment when he called in and said, "No, we'll handle the base. Darth Vader will handle the fleet."
Right.
I thought, is Vader going to get a TIE fighter and go like just wreck
That
things?
would have been cool too.
That would have been. I was kind of hoping for, but I got what I wanted. Yeah, I got what I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Definitely.
It's like showed up at the right time.
And I'm still questioning what you originally predicted. Well, didn't predict for him, but you,
Mick predicted.
yes, Mick, you predicted that maybe Darth Vader will let the plans go in. Maybe he'll kind of be soft. And I kind of wondered there. He did seem to stop when he might have been able to fire on
I
the
was
ship.
picturing him like doing a
Leaping through space.
doing a Force Unleashed, like grabbing it and crushing it.
Bob was saying too, we were like,
with the Force.
Yeah, I kind of saw that motion. I was like, he was ready for him just to pull it right
grab him by
back.
the, yeah.
So, and then he realized it was a Corellian Corvette, and
We knew it had to get away.
it had to get away.
So I think maybe he was just showed that he was angry and stopped. I don't think he was trying to let it happen.
GunShow, Star Wars movie. I imagine you said
Yes.
second and third, fourth rewatch.
Yes, it's totally a Star Wars movie. I mean, if I understand where you're going with this, but yeah, it's totally.
Yeah.
I mean, in every essence. Whereas, not to go off on a tangent, so we're not talking about this, but like the latest Star Trek movies, not Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I enjoyed them, but I don't feel like they don't encompass what the original creation of Star Trek was all about. Whereas this, I felt like they stayed with it. I think they did a good job.
You're able to
So-
capture the essence of Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a couple parts I can be picky about, but you can always be picky about
Oh yeah,
stuff.
we definitely need to go there. What do you think going next? Characters, or do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about next?
Well, I'm going to order some hash browns.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to get a... Yeah.
Hash browns or bacon and cheese? That is the question always. Hash browns or bacon and cheese?
I want to eat hash browns all night long. Can I get hash browns scattered, covered, smothered?
Oh my gosh.
And then can I make that like a double order or whatever? Yeah.
I'm going to get a bacon and cheese, man. Oh, what? Actually, wheat. Yeah. Cut your eyes at me for getting wheat bread.
I didn't say anything. It's just sweet bread. I thought you were just gonna get Texas toast. See that?
No, it's too much bread and not enough egg and bacon there. So yeah. See?
Okay.
Yeah. Man. Yeah.
So characters.
God, they were all good.
No spoiler, but
Was it spoiler or spoiler?
Oh, it's spoilers open.
Oh,
You're good.
okay.
okay, great. Well then, I like the way that the characters they made sure that the rebels died. I mean,
Yeah.
I love that part.
Open and closed story.
Yeah, they had to.
Don't have to keep them going. Don't have to show up in the next movie. It just cut and dry, ready to go for the next movie.
No real love story, no real anything. Just hey, these
Yeah.
guys that hooked up, met everybody.
It brings everything to a completion.
Oh,
There's like a bit of satisfaction
Oh, man.
with that.
Yeah.
Kid, what was the name of the main guy with what?
Cassian.
Let's say the names real quick.
Yeah,
What's
Cassian was the guy at the beginning that shot
Roguish
his
Han
partner.
Solo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
bad
a
guy.
captain. I don't remember what his last
But
name
he was
was.
a good rebel.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cassian. Something.
Cassian.
Cassian's
What was her name?
Yeah, I can't remember. Jen. Urso.
Jen Ursa.
Jin.
Urso?
Jin, Cassian.
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead and bring that up. Okay, so
I don't remember their
Cassian.
names. It was
As soon as he
blind guy.
shot the guy, and I was pretty sure he's a rebel. I started to think, oh, is this guy a bad guy? But then I was like, oh no, he's just a rebel. But like he was a Shane.
Well,
He shot the when Shane shot the fat guy to get away from the zombies.
Well, exactly. Well, no, he wasn't trying to get away. He knew that guy had information, and it's Stormtrooper coming, and he said, "I can't get away."
Right.
And he said, "Well, think of something." And he's like, "This is how." It's either that or let him go get tortured.
But it's the same type of deal. I mean, he's got a.
Yeah.
That guy didn't pick.
Shane could have not shot the guy and just kept running.
Yeah.
Shane just didn't want to be embarrassed. He left him. Sorry.
But
Sorry, you're right.
I was Walking Dead talk there.
But with the whole Cassian thing, he was all right. I got into him later as a character, but at first to me he was just like an Italian F1 race car driver.
Yeah.
With that whole accent, and the hair.
Say crepe.
Let's see. This one,
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
They made this a ridiculously diverse cast. Like I almost felt like, did they mean to do this? Like, it was cool. I liked it, but it was almost like, how did this perfectly diverse cast of people get together? That's my one joke about like, we get a robot too.
I don't know, a whole galaxy. They go to multiple planets. It seems like
it was fun.
Why were there only humans?
Exactly. Like on one hand it was diverse, but two, we had a robot.
That's kind of the Empire's thing, is to go only humans.
Yeah.
It was odd. Cassian Andor.
Captain Andor.
Cassian Andor.
Yeah, but he's a captain.
Oh yeah.
So I remember they referred to him as Captain Andor a time or two.
Yeah.
So you have Captain Cassian.
They still wear those Purina dog chow rank insignia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And I found myself trying to, whenever, after talking to Casey last week, he likes to talk about each character, not having their own story, and the only things that they would say you couldn't get to anybody else because it wouldn't sound right coming from them. When Cassian and Jin, right, were arguing in the ship after her father died or whatever, and she's the star, so she's supposed to be like the voice that is always right. And he was saying things like, I've done things that are bad, and you don't understand or whatever, and this is what has to be done. I found myself going, they're both right.
Yeah.
Like he's done some bad things, and it sucks, and it's awful.
Yeah.
But he's saying the right thing, and she's saying the right thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, the one thing that got me in that conversation, it really made me go, wait, hey, hold on. We understand Luke was 17, 18 at the beginning of New Hope. So this is 17 or 18 years after he was born, the last one. He says he's been fighting in this battle, in this war, since he was 6. Guy obviously was not, he had to be mid-20s, mid-30s, somewhere in that range. So, what has he been fighting since he was 6?
So I don't know. Are we saying Order 66 happens when he's 6 years old? And so he's...
Yeah, exactly, I guess.
So he's 24 now?
Yeah, but he seems much older than 24.
He does seem older than 24.
Yeah, that was the one thing that got me. Wait, hold on.
Well, he seemed very battle.
Yeah,
battle hardened. Battle hard.
Yeah. He could have been in the battle for all the Clone Wars too.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
But they did bring up they did mention the Clone Wars.
Well, sure. Why not? Yeah, I mean they brought Bail Organa out.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smits.
Yeah. As soon as he came out of the shadow, I was like,
I kind of got awesome. So
I was kind of sad I wasn't sitting next to y'all because I kept going leaning over and looking down the.
I didn't want to bother Harold.
You're good.
I didn't want to be like.
That was Harold?
Yeah. I didn't recognize him either.
Really?
I felt bad. I think it was the hat. Well, every time I see him, he's usually on the couch, and it's kind of darker and dimmer. So he's kind of like
Darth Vader.
Yeah. I was gonna say Heisenberg, but yeah.
He's definitely not like Darth Vader, but the way you described it, it sounded like Darth Vader.
I was gonna say Heisenberg, but
yeah. Heisenbergers.
No, I thought it was somebody that we knew like from base or something.
Oh, really?
I think some guy was hanging out with y'all for a minute because he was just lonely. He said, "Do you have an elderly ticket?" I said, "No."
No clue.
I'm like, no. And I wasn't even going to give him a ticket.
He didn't
Well, about tickets, so.
Harold's so nice, he was like, well, I mean, if you need this ticket, you can have it back.
yeah, he was totally going to go home.
Yeah.
So bad.
Because he didn't want to take a ticket from somebody.
So of course, I call him and tell him, I say, all right, I need my ticket. He comes walking out, and he stands on the other side where the police officer's sitting over
I did that
here.
on purpose.
And so,
I said, no, just come back here.
And she was just fine with letting me walk.
She looked at me, she gave you this look like, what's he doing? He's big, I don't want to try to stop him.
Right. It's like, I'm going to let him walk on.
That or it's like, he obviously knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
She gave you the look like, I feel I should stop him, but go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go on. Because I was hoping you would walk out and do something like that. And they'd be like, "Oh, sir."
No, it didn't happen. Though.
What was the main bad guy's name that was trying to get Tarkin stuff?
Krennic. Something Krennic.
Krennic,
What do you
yeah.
think about him?
He was
Serviceable bad guy.
serviceable bad guy and obviously made to be unlikable, so we wouldn't be wanting him in more stuff.
Yeah. I kind of thought the power struggle with Tarkin was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of, was Tarkin CGI?
Yes.
It had to be, right?
He was. I think he was an
Yeah.
actor that they CGI'd, most of the face.
God.
He had him in
My only-
60 when he shot it.
Oh, I know he's definitely dead.
That's right.
And that was a good
But
addition.
they did a good job with it for the most part. I think I would have drawn back on them. They seemed like they wanted to focus on his facial tics and features more
Right.
so than they should have. I think that brought the CGI to life a little bit too much.
He had a waxy look to him.
Because
There
every
was
different
always
angle.
something, a cheek or a corner of his lip moving.
See, that
or
was how
something.
that actor
Wrinkles.
was. I don't even remember Mark Tarkin's the actor's name.
Oh, I don't know.
But
they,
he did such a good
I mean,
job.
they
in the
made
original.
a point to make sure you could see the reflection
Man,
in
he was
the
in the
glass
glass.
Yes.
and everything.
I thought that was all right.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And then, I mean, like,
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I need to top off, man.
Yeah, I may do the same.
And then, trying not to move things around.
You're good, you're good.
Screw 'em up too much. But, and then, I also liked, like, when they first were focusing in on him, and you first realized that's got to be Tarkin. And, like, you see the back of his head? Oh, thank you. You see the back of his head, and, like, you even see the detail in, like, the wisp of his hair.
Yeah.
All coming back to a point almost.
Right.
On the back
Yeah,
of his head.
it was obviously fake, but very well done.
It was like a back of the head comb over.
It was forgivable.
I thought it was great. There was times where I thought it was just an actor really, made up with prosthetic facial enhancements, but,
Yeah.
man, that was
They did an
really
excellent
good.
job of that.
I was impressed with it.
How about the, okay, I guess we need to stay on characters.
Dude, blind guy.
Bad guy forgettable then
You
means
get a double
kinda
order of hash browns. You
He
get
was-
a double order of cheese with
He was
it.
forgettable. But the two guys, Sherwood Imwe,
Who?
blind guy.
Oh, yeah. Sherbert?
Yeah, Sherwood Imwe.
An emu?
Yeah, Sherwood Imwe. Sherwood Imwe.
I called it a Star Wars version of Jet Li.
Yes. And Baze Malbus.
Daredevil
Why do you
Jet
keep calling him Big Gun Guy? Because he had a big ass gun. Baze Malbus.
Oh, Sherbert and
That was his
Baze.
partner?
Yeah.
Sherbert's Bay.
Yeah. Those two guys.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like the special effects with Saturn, kind of
Yeah, that
looking planet,
was
ring
great.
planet. I mean, you can see
The range was great.
they did a good job adding, shadows to the ground and everything. And it's,
The Star Destroyers. Every one of them coming out of the shadows. Every one of them. Every bit of them.
like
Those are kind of
the
characters.
sun automatically hit them when they come out of the light.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yep.
I would say, I think it was you who was talking about the description. That was the best space battles I've ever seen in Star Wars.
You think so?
Yeah, beat the hell out of the trench run. I love the trench run. A classic, but man,
I really liked episode 3's.
episode 3 was good. Before this, episode 6 was always my favorite. I always loved that battle in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah. That was
Scene
awesome.
of the Millennium Falcon busting through all the TIE fighters.
Oh, man, the very first Star Destroyer, it seemed like a miniature. Like, I almost know it was CGI, but the way that it looked, and the way that things moved across it, it looked like a miniature. I was like, did they use a miniature just for this scene?
Wouldn't have been surprised.
Let's see, okay, how about Forrest Whitaker's character? I
Loved him.
was kind of hoping he'd show back up at some point.
Yeah.
He wasn't, I mean, from the previews or the trailers and stuff, he wasn't what I expected really at all. So I thought he was going to have some tie to the Jedi or, obviously the rebellion. But I didn't realize he was going to be an extremist.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, he's like,
Oh my gosh, that whole planet, whenever they got into a fight, it seemed like it was
a terrorist attack.
It seemed like it was, fighting in freaking Fallujah or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rolling tanks through Fallujah.
I loved that though, because it was like,
I loved it, except that the commentary made me feel like, are they calling us the Empire?
There's memes out there about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But, which is interesting.
And the good guys are the terrorists. That's what it seemed like.
Well, you've seen those meme jokes about Luke Skywalker and about the whole. They turn it around so that the Empire's the good guys and the rebellion is like the terrorists.
Yeah, right.
Because all that stuff in the end is written by historians based on who won,
But
right?
that looked just like some basically, you replace the stormtroopers with soldiers and the space tank with
and I thought,
the tank.
I kind of took it as in a subtle way they were kind of relating to that because they're like, look, these are.
They're definitely.
They call themselves the rebellion. They are terrorists because they're fighting against the current central government.
I wanted to make an inappropriate.
They were evoking it pretty hard.
I wanted to make an inappropriate joke that probably be construed as.
And they brought up points
don't
that.
harm your security clearance
Yeah.
if you were to have one.
That's why I'm smiling.
But they brought up stuff in the
I'll make the
movie.
joke after.
Like you were talking about, they brought up stuff in the movie that, like, as these terrorists, they had to do stuff they didn't agree with or that was morally right, to further their cause.
Yeah.
They're like, we've done bad stuff.
Yeah.
I like that they bring attention to that.
Yeah.
So, because, it's not, just all sweet and innocent rebellion. It's,
The robot character,
Loved him.
dude, he was great.
Alan Tudyk killed
He
him.
was great. What was the name of the? I don't know the name of him, but
Wash from Firefly.
the name of the character.
Well, the character's KC.
K2SO.
Yeah,
K2SO.
K2SO.
Oh man, he went out like a champ too.
Yeah, he did. That was
He
their
was
Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Chewbacca was the Wash wagon.
He was
Slash
practically the
C-3PO
movie's
slash
entire comic relief.
R2-D2. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Oh, yeah.
And he was excellent. That scene when he catches a grenade midair and just holds it for a minute. And then,
Sit back.
Yeah.
Second
And then the part where they're like, we'll be sucked out and dead in the vacuum of space. And he's
I
like,
won't.
I won't.
Yeah.
I can survive in space.
Not me.
Why, yes. Yes, you.
man. Oh, so
All I could think about was Tars from Interstellar.
yeah. It was very
So
similar.
it's been like, cut the humor back to 20%. K390
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, and I did like they had just for a second show R2-D2 and C-3PO
Yes.
because it really wouldn't have been a Star Wars movie without them.
No?
You know?
It was just short enough that it didn't take away from the movie.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was hammed in there.
So I tried to think about that in a time relation to what was going on with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since R2-D2 and 3CPO were already at the base there on Yavin 4.
That's how they got on the Corellian Corvette.
So, yeah,
Oh.
that would make sense. So I was like, anyway, it ties together nicely, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
C-3PO's mind is wiped at some point. I was trying to figure out, I was like, when was that again?
It was wiped
It's
after-
after episode 3.
Yeah.
But R2 still, he knows everything.
That
Yeah.
was everything, yeah.
He's like, you guys should just ask me. Okay, thanks.
OBS, little guy.
I cut you off, though.
No, it was all right. I mean, I basically said what I was going to say, but I was just thinking about K2SO all over again.
Yeah. The other
The part was like,
comment
would you like to know the odds that she'll use it against you? I was like, it's high.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
he
Extremely
didn't
high.
raise his hands like that because it's high. The fact that he used human gestures with it was fantastic. But
He had a lot of great lines in that.
I still love the line though when they go, "Man, did you hear they've marked the T-15s as obsolete?" He's like,
In classic stormtrooper voice.
Yeah. I was glad they had
That little small talk between
I wish they would have had
stormtroopers.
more of that, because I love that
Oh,
in
yeah.
older movies.
Yeah.
Because that was definitely a old canon thing that the T-15 was a notoriously inaccurate blaster rifle.
Oh, sure, blame it on the rifle.
That was a joke on the Wikipedia like years ago.
I love when the stormtroopers first shot how they weren't hitting anything. I was like, oh yes, this is familiar.
And you played Dark Horses, right?
I played Jedi Outcast.
Okay, so you never
That's where
played
I
Dark
started.
Forces.
No, I never.
Okay, Dark Forces.
Yeah.
You played Dark Forces. You remember the Dark Troopers were cyborg stormtroopers. I don't know if they were fully robots or humans kind of been altered, but you know those guys were running around secret weapons facilities. All seem to speak with a modem language.
Yes, their stuff was scrambled.
Yeah, they did not sound like
Communications were
humans, and they didn't
scrambled,
ever really act human. They just
the movie
acted very
tonight?
cold.
Yeah.
The Dark Troopers.
The black troopers.
I'm pretty sure.
Those I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's a mild
I think that
throwback.
had to be the version of their dark troopers.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to see that. I was just like, they're taking what they can from Canon. And the Hammerhead.
The Hammerhead Corvette.
Yes,
Oh my
because that's
God.
another one from old Canon, from I remember.
I like it because they're not ditching some of them.
Yeah, they're using what they can. That's
Like
cool.
old,
Right.
not
Old canon.
film canon, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
right. Yes,
Um,
from the games and the books in the
okay,
past.
so Easter eggs, obviously, I'm going to start out with Blue Milk. It was the first one I saw whenever we were in whatever hut at the very beginning. Did you guys see
There was Blue Milk?
There was
I didn't
Blue Milk.
see it.
Whenever they were showing the kitchen and the little house that they lived in, that Jen, as a girl, lived in.
I didn't catch
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole picture of Blue Milk and two cups next to it.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all.
That's cool. Oh, what about the Death Star?
What about,
Is that an Easter egg?
it's kind of shaped like it. I think so. I didn't see the Death Star. The Death Star in this?
You're not
I think they were still building it.
See, I'm gonna be watching for that stuff when I go back. The Blue Milk, I didn't notice
Blue Milk.
that.
How about whenever Jen bumped into the guy with the messed up nose?
Yes,
And the other
yes,
guy?
yes.
That's the same two people from A New Hope.
Yep.
Dude,
That
sorry.
that Luke bumps into.
You'll be dead.
Obi-Wan cuts his arm off.
Yeah, I turned Bobby in the gun show, and I tell him, I was like, oh, look, a Balchinian.
I laughed at well, as soon as he bumped into him, I laughed out loud, and I thought, oh, cool, nice little callback to Luke hitting that guy.
Yeah.
And then Balchinian shows up.
Yes,
And I was like, oh, it's him.
So those guys obviously got off planet.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're one of
Got
the
on their
12
way to Tatooine
We're one
before
of the
that
12
whole
different
thing.
star systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did they make it off?
Yeah.
That must have been where they were going in such a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get
Probably
off.
wanted in that star system.
Yeah, one of those ships with the Star Destroyer, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I like the.
I loved the terrorist extremists. I loved that it showed them wearing a bunch of old confiscated Empire gear. Because for a minute there I thought, wait, is this some desert, stormtroopers?
Yeah,
It
they were
showed
kinda sandy looking.
showed the scout trooper. They got a scout trooper's helmet painted black. And, but he was one of the extremists against them. And I was like, dude, that should be my favorite
Oh
helmet.
yeah! In the very beginning, when the Imperial
bring the
pilot was
yeah.
in the desert, I was like, is that Imperial forces? But there's aliens with it
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
That helmet threw me off.
That helmet is literally the scout trooper was my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Never did have one, but my best friend had a speeder bike with a scout trooper, the one that would blow apart.
Yeah.
When you hit the button in the back, oh my god.
So what's the deal with the stormtroopers with the tan armor? Are they like beach troopers?
Probably.
Are they what they deployed?
It's the Baywatch
to beach
crew.
paradises? Yeah.
Man.
Wait a minute, we saw David Hasselhoff in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wish.
I love how they wanted to question the
targeted.
pilot when he was running back there with the cable, but as soon as shooting started, they're like, just get behind us.
Yeah.
It wasn't an obvious, they're not just evil people, they were just questioning soldiers. And, it seemed like in the older Star Wars, they may have been like, oh, someone I don't recognize, well, scum,
Right.
It seemed like it was a little more fluid with those guys.
And notice that all the Empire, they had nice beachy, tropical places, and all the rebels, they had desert, dirt,
All the rebels did have Yavin. That's kind of a...
snowy capped mountains and stuff
Well,
like
the
that.
Empire had that. What was that one planet? The rocky planet where it was raining nonstop.
Jedhu or something?
Edu.
I don't know. Whatever one.
Was that Edu?
I think it was Edu. Where
That was
Edu is where
Core
the
crystals.
the storage facility was, right?
That's Scarif.
Oh, that's scary. You're right. So Edu was the planet where it was raining
Yeah,
nonstop.
that's their
Okay, that was
Edau or Edu.
Yeah, that was another
Core
planet.
crystal processing
Then they
plant.
That's right.
occupied the Jedhu or whatever.
the moon
Jeddah?
The one where Jeddah, yeah.
Jeddah.
It sounded like Jedi something.
It's supposed
Oh,
to.
yeah, it's supposed to be their old.
Yeah.
Maybe an
Jedi.
old.
Jedi.
pronunciation or spelling of Jedi.
Okay.
He said in the movie that it was that was the home starting planet of the Jedi. He made a reference to it.
Who did?
See,
Tarkin or Krekken?
no, they mentioned that that's their home where they got their Korribar crystals. I thought.
No, there was a mention about the
He said
Jedi's
something
planet.
about.
I'm wondering. I don't remember.
You'll have to watch it again and listen.
We'll do.
Like
Because it confirmed it for me later.
Did something for the old Jedi something.
Yeah, we'll see. What I
Because the
thought.
statue in the sand that was falling over,
yeah,
to me,
obviously.
that said Jedi Temple.
Yeah, but the only thing that makes the question is, Luke went looking for the original Jedi Temple, or original Jedi origin area, and that's apparently where. I'm not saying it's theoretically, theorized.
Well,
but
he's
It's
talking
Tatooine.
40 years down the road he's doing this.
Yeah.
After this planet done been laid waste to by the Death Star.
Yeah, but I'm saying, look, the planet he was on at the end of Force Awakens looked a lot different.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was an ocean planet.
Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't think
Well,
that was supposed to be their origin.
There's a lot of ocean on the planet
Now,
Scarab.
Yep.
But
There's a lot of ocean on Jeddah. Now there's all
I'm
those
getting
holes.
confused now.
Put some water in there. Yeah.
Jeddah was a desert planet.
I knew Jeddah was where Korribar crystals were harvested. That's the big thing I took away from it.
Okay.
But I don't want to argue because I don't know.
Well, I'm not arguing.
And that's probably the reason they probably wrote it that way. So if all the crystals are gone, they can't do any more lifesavers. I mean, just imagine. I mean, they were not able to recreate those, so it was like having just a few Jedi knights having just lifesavers.
Though something tells me there's got to be more, because they wouldn't have blown that place up if it was the ammo for their weapon. You know what I mean? I would have figured.
There would have to be. Now, of course,
He's in a plan for what it is.
both times that the Death Star was used, they didn't use it as a full planet destruction weapon.
Exactly. So
They only, what they call it, one core?
reactor.
One
Yeah, one
reactor
reactor
core?
fire.
Man, I think that was awesome. It's one of the coolest parts of the show.
Which probably could like wipe out life on the majority of the planet eventually,
yeah.
but
Right.
would still
Nuclear
leave the planet
winter and
whole.
everything.
Yeah.
And did anybody else wonder at the end? Now I know Cassian was all messed up when Jen and Cassian seemed like they finally respected each other, were buddies. Why they didn't at least think to try to find a ship?
Wait,
You know, at the end when they just go to sit on the beach and watch the explosion come.
Maybe because she couldn't get him.
Yeah, but they were at the facility. They left the facility. I don't know. It just seemed
Yeah.
like there had to have been a ship nearby. I don't know.
I guess I was already resigned to them to die.
I
So
was
I
too.
never even thought of that.
They needed that, but I did
they
start
could
thinking,
have.
they really probably could have found a
You
ship.
would think, you think your motivation at that point would still be survival.
Yeah. You know, but maybe Cassian was more hurt than we thought. He knew.
I just remembered his name, but you know we're talking about who was in A New Hope. You know, we're pretty sure Mon Mothma didn't show up in A New Hope, right?
Yeah, I don't think Mon Mothma was in. It was Chris
I remember
Medini.
the general's name.
General
Chris
guy,
Medini.
yeah, the general with the.
Well, and Dodonna.
Wearing the same clothes?
General Dodonna.
You're right. That was him. That was.
He was in-
Dodonna.
he was
the
Yes.
white-haired
Yes,
guy.
that is.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So he was there too as part of the
Mon
council.
Mothma didn't show up until Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She didn't talk about Manny Bobbins.
She showed up a lot in the books.
Manny Bobbins.
Who is this guy?
He wasn't in this one.
No. Yeah, that doesn't drive the question home. Do you think they'll do other story on how they got those plans? I would love it. I would love another.
For Return of the Jedi?
Just like thousands of Bothans died.
I don't
I would
know.
love another war.
What are the three stories we know? Rogue One, Han Solo.
And
Boba
nothing else.
Fett?
No, I think Boba Fett got scrapped in favor of Han Solo. I mean, maybe down the road.
Okay, so we don't know what the third story is going to be yet.
Me and him have theorized it could be Obi-Wan. I really want it to be Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
I want
someone.
Adventures of
Early Obi-Wan?
No, like later.
Ewan
like,
McGregor at whatever age he's going to be when the movie
Later,
comes out.
later he's walking around on Tatooine collecting rocks.
He can leave. Anything can happen. In the comics, that already stuff happened. He already got some action, and that's canon.
I don't know. I haven't read comics.
In the comics, yes. Oh, you laugh at comics, Steve?
What happened when he dropped the cannon? That's canon, mic drop. Big hope.
I don't know. Who could play? I guess an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's gonna
Ewan McGregor.
It
Again,
has to be, yeah. And he'll be older too.
He'd be older.
It's going to be him in between episode 3 and episode 4. So there's 17 years. It's only been 11 years since Revenge of the Sith.
He'll father a child.
wow.
That child will later on go and have another child who will be Rey. was Rey as
we'll get to
Kenobi.
Yeah, when we learn that Kenobi is Rey's father, if that's what happens, then they'll come out with the Kenobi movie. That's what we're saying. Why we don't know what the third movie is yet.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's a wild theory. I'm not saying yes or no. That is. I like that theory.
Rey is probably a Skywalker. Let's be honest.
Right. I mean,
but I want her to be a Kenobi.
Or they just gave us enough information for us to theorize that because it's the most logical looking.
I mean, part of the main 9-part saga. You feel like she has to be.
She can't just be a nobody who shows up.
Unless
it's starting a new saga.
What's his name? Other guy goes good.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Then he's a Skywalker blood at least.
That's a good theory too.
Yeah, I don't
we're going
necessarily
off
like it.
The tangents. Yeah.
Han and Leia's son.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he turns back with the dark side and Rey turns bad.
Yeah.
That would seem out of left field though.
Yeah, it would.
Well, even if he turns and they team up, that'd be cool to have 2 Jedi working together.
It would be. You don't really. Well,
No, you don't.
We got that in the other movies, but
Not really. I mean, we did, but it was pretty weak.
I'm glad he finally admits this.
Except, no, just like their banter and everything. It just didn't work
It was
right.
boring.
Bantha. What?
Yeah.
No,
Their banter
when they
was
fought Count
Bantha
Dooku,
voodoo.
when they fought Count Dooku, I love that.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my gosh.
But their banter was like what you expect.
Especially when
from
Anakin's
a
like,
priest.
yeah, you threw me around last time, but mess you up this time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Have you seen there's supposed to be some video where every time their lightsabers hit in the Count Dooku fight and the Emperor's sitting there watching it, as Palpatine, every time the lightsabers hit, they added the Emperor saying, do it. Every single time they hit,
You're gonna have to
he's
look
like,
that up
do
tonight.
it.
You're gonna have to look that up
I
tonight.
haven't watched it yet, I just heard about it.
See, I'll tell you, this is one thing I hope, whatever they do, I hope they keep all these side stories small. I really loved how this was a huge action piece. Lots of crazy stuff happened, but overall it was still just a really small short story.
Mm-hmm.
It was overall a small part of a huge ongoing picture.
Yep, don't need anything else from this story.
Like I hope maybe Han Solo will be a nice, fun heist movie as well.
Right. Well,
Essentially, it was a heist movie.
and I'm hoping Han Solo is going to be he rescues Chewbacca from the Empire.
That's gotta be
If
it.
it's
That's
not
the only
that, I
story
don't want to
care
watch
to
the
hear.
movie.
I want to see it. It starts with Han Solo as an officer in the Imperial Navy,
Yes. Yep.
and he rescues Chewbacca,
Yeah.
who was enslaved.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
And his only way to make a living is to be a
life
smuggler.
debt. I mean, that's canon. The life
Even
debt's
that's just the
canon.
beginning. Even they just kind of show some nods to him breaking him out, saving him, getting
Oh
kicked
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and then the
Maybe
movies
you don't have to
together.
go so heavy into that story since most people know it.
It'd be a great
You can
story.
just touch on
At
it.
the same time, I'm kind of thinking, kind of want Chewbacca there with him. You
Yeah.
know, maybe how he gets the Millennium Falcon could be the end of it. You know,
Yeah.
So you want to see that part, don't you?
he wins it.
Well, so they already cast Billy D.
Yes.
So
Oh gosh.
so he's
You
gonna
want to
he'll
see
have
that
the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Well,
It'll be a good scene. There are two buddies.
What would they drink if they're on the Millennium Falcon?
it'll be Coke 45.
What is it Lando says? Somebody must have told him about my maneuver at Tanam
Yeah.
or whatever.
That was the Star Wars. One of those. I don't remember it, but I just remember reading it in that.
It was in Reddit
post.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like side
that
stories you
reminded me
like to
because
see
that's
based
what
on
he.
lines.
He's like, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I don't know." Everybody goes like, "They made you a general?" So, I don't know. Somebody
They
must
make
have
all
told
us
them about
generals.
my maneuver. He's
we're
like,
the heroes.
"Maneuver? That was a bar fight." that little blurb on
That'd
Reddit was
probably be
funny.
included.
Yeah. I do. Well. No, I think that was supposed to have taken place between Empire and Jedi.
Oh, I don't know.
I think.
We probably ought to get back to the movie.
Yeah, we do. It's fun Star Wars
We're getting on
stuff.
some tangents there. So, I don't know. What other characters are there? Urso, is that how you say
Can we
it?
talk about Darth Vader?
I guess.
I know it's the
missed
end.
it.
Okay, so what about the first thing we see about
Oh,
Oh, that was excellent.
he's
Darth Vader in a bath, but
he's got a lightsaber for Darth Vader here. Yeah.
Yes, he
A
does.
lightsaber.
It's ignited.
yes,
Your lightsaber's ignited.
it
for
is.
Darth Vader.
Raging lightsaber.
It is. It is
You were all about him whipping out
It is
that
a throbbing
lightsaber
red
and
lightsaber.
laying waste to rebels with dumb helmets.
Oh
But
gosh.
he's at a Okay, so he's on a lava flowing planet.
It's a castle.
In a gigantic, very SS looking,
Yeah.
I hate that I missed
huge
that.
castle.
Yeah.
He has an acolyte taking care of him, I guess.
Which they talked
At least
about him
one.
having a castle in the old expanded universe too. Which that's why I was like, that's that place.
Then it's a white glowing back to tank. It's not blue. It's a white one.
Right.
And whenever the acolyte says master and says whatever, I don't know if it says master, but I'm thinking we're going to see the emperor. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't Naboo where his freaking emperor's retreat is. This is. What is this place? But then when it comes down and you can kind of see that his
Bigger
head.
face, nubby arms.
No. So he's got to hop out of the shower real quick and put some clothes on. Ghost Dog. Forrest Whitaker.
That's how I always remember him from.
He
too.
reminded me as like another kind of Vader with that mask.
Oh yeah,
Like he needed that to breathe.
Yeah.
He was a
I
cheap
think-
knockoff
A
for
poor man's Vader.
That made me think the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really
Right.
cool. I love the way he talked after that too, because you could tell he was always short of breath. He was always, well, he was real, like everything. was
Labored,
strange.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, he had prosthetic
Yeah,
legs.
really crappy ones.
Yeah.
Again,
And prosthetic arms, because it was his hands. He still had his hands, but you could see the rings like they
Oh, really?
like they did for
Oh, see, I didn't notice that.
for Luke.
Okay. Huh.
So Vader spoke to the bad guy, director guy.
did you notice they seemed like they changed his helmet a little bit?
His helmet looks different.
Yeah, I don't know if I liked it, but I was, I was okay with it.
It was
James
like,
Earl Jones is still around apparently.
it was his beta version helmet.
We talked about
Before
that,
I knew
James
how.
Earl Jones, and the one thing that I guess got me was his voice.
Didn't sound right. did
Sound
it?
old.
Yeah.
It's older. It's older James Earl
You
Jones.
can tell it's older, and
Wasn't as powerful sounding.
Maybe he needed more time in the back to tank, and that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
By the next movies,
Works for me.
his back
Works for me.
has healed his larynx a
Yeah, I
little
don't know. I figure with the technology and
Like there was one point where it sounded like his voice went. Like when he was trying to finish a sentence, I was like, oh man.
bit. I did not necessarily care. I mean, it wasn't bad.
No,
or
it didn't
good.
bother me.
Well, no, I was gonna say I didn't care for the quip he made when he said, "Don't choke on your aspirations." I thought,
I had a little bit of problem with the dialogue.
yeah,
that's when Kraken smiled after he said that too. After he got done choking him,
yeah,
don't choke on your aspirations or
I
whatever.
heard you go.
And then he's all like, he's sort of smiling like he knows he just got away with
yeah.
not being killed by Vader or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be an high.
And Vader's in the other room like, I got it. I got it.
And then guess what I said to
I was
him?
like, I got him. Got him.
Yeah.
He's like, and
Burn,
don't forget
burn. For me, it's saying something.
when you get back to the ship to call D's. D's who? Lord Vader?
I don't know, that scene, it looked like he was standing up to Lord Vader, though.
Yeah.
Even though you could tell Lord Vader was taller than him.
Well, he
walked up to him and he was like, Lord Vader. And it was,
Well, you can
It
tell.
also
no
felt like
submissiveness.
they shoehorned the force choke in. Like
Yeah.
it didn't seem to fit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still loved it
Oh, I did too.
Right.
because I haven't seen Darth Vader in a long time.
Well, see, and what you said, Krennic was supposed to be like that. He's supposed to be the flamboyant. That's why he's got the garish. He's wearing his dress whites instead of his normal,
All the time.
Yeah, he wants to look important. That's why he was so mad that Tarkin just was like, eh.
Yeah.
And Vader's even like, I don't care. Tarkin took your little toy, whatever. But
He's like, oh, so I am in charge. He's like, oh, that's right.
so the toy is the Death Star.
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was just to show that Vader did not care about Krennic. Krennic was obviously he was that coworker nobody likes very much.
I know those co-workers.
Yeah. Oh, so funny. But yeah, that was Krennic. Krennic was that guy that you're just like, oh, really, again?
Again.
Oh, it's so important. It's so important. No, it's not. Stop. And really, he didn't deserve any of what he did anyway. He hired another guy to take all the credit.
Right.
So he deserved to get taken anyway. He was just,
What about the
trying to get in everybody else's business, basically.
What about the force with the blind guy?
Loved him. I'm pretty sure he was slightly
Force sensitive? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be.
Yeah.
I mean, There's no way to explain it.
Either that or, that's all you gotta do is like, force me with him, force me with him, force me. Be like,
Yeah.
Cool, thanks, I got a little force power there.
Other than like the Force is just like a knowing thing who has a will that he wants to have seen done.
Yeah.
It's the only other way to explain it.
Yeah, but I loved it. Again, love.
Or she. I don't want to assume the Force's gender and trigger somebody.
Is what?
Did you just assume the Force's gender?
Yeah, I must need more time.
No, I said it.
I know, I didn't catch it in time. Yeah.
It's midichlorian.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure. I think they moonwalked out of that one. They just totally backpedaled. So
no one has mentioned it. They haven't said it didn't happen.
Yep.
But they're not going to talk about it.
No.
Wasn't there a joke about like Ray asking about how it works, and somebody starts to say midichlorians, and they're like,
Shh, don't talk about the potato. He doesn't know.
okay, so Vader, for giving all the misgivings in that scene, we've talked about wanting to see Vader go off in this movie.
I wanted the
wanting
comic
to see a
book Vader.
lightsaber ignite, see him just roll through tons of people like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Was that what you wanted?
It wasn't exactly what I wanted. It was still less than I wanted, but it was still so much more than I really expected.
Yeah.
So,
But at that point in the movie,
I wanted Vader chopping his way out of his own TIE fighter, leaping through space, cutting a hole in the ship, killing everybody on it. That's what I want,
Wow.
it's like,
He does that, and you need to read all the comics. It's fantastic. It's the best thing in comics right now.
it was pretty good. I mean, you know how well done the Vader versus Batman video was.
Yeah.
I mean, and that had some pretty awesome stuff. This was kind of about on that level of.
Yes.
It's kind of weird to say that a high budget Star Wars movie is about on the level of a low budget band movie
But no, it started
with a fat Batman.
I love that it started with him just casually blocking some stuff, and then as he got annoyed, he just started flinging them into each other, into the ceiling, and then
I was wanting
then
to
started
see-
cutting them in half.
Yeah.
He cut a dude in half.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not like he slammed him into walls. He slammed him into the ceiling.
And then cut him in half on the way down.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I thought you were talking about when he went through the door and the person.
Oh, it was right before that,
He
yeah.
went through one dude like here. It was yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that was
Him coming out of the dark, and then what lights him up is the freaking lightsaber.
Yeah, and the way they just started scrambling and screaming, like it started with them trying to be brave, and then when they realized what was going to happen, they fell apart. Like it was great to see that pure terror. Like
And it was, it was good that they actually had the little plot device of the plans being passed through, because I was happy with him just going through and mowing people down, but I'm glad there's actually a point.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I got worried there for a second. I was like, tie this together. Something's got to work out.
yeah. Like I was for a bit there. I was like, how
And
did
then
they
the door gets stuck.
Yeah.
Which now we know well they had to hire a new admiral.
Oh, well, they need Admiral Akbar now.
Yeah, well, because that one was incompetent. Because anytime someone called in from the planet below, he'd look down at the planet like,
Why does he have to look at the planet while he's talking?
I got remember he
And
was,
he had to turn to the left and somebody else come in.
It's like, I don't know. He treats his conversations.
So we're gonna talk about some of the mistakes in the movie.
He's like Clay. He's like Ash. He's got to walk around when he talks. He can't just. Even though he's on this little like hover around. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah. Well, but you were talking about how, or y'all were just talking about how getting the plans, transferring the plans, and getting out of there with the Corvette. And I was kind of nervous how it was all going to tie together at once.
so good.
But it's pretty cool because the whole movie shows just how one thing could have not gone right, and the whole rebellion would have ended, including when they were in there doing the council meeting.
yeah.
They brought up the Senate. The Senate is literally days or hours away from being absolved by the Emperor.
Yep.
Right.
And they're planning to take the information to the Senate and present it to the Senate. Well, and they have no idea that's not going to make a difference.
Yep.
So things hadn't gone, they didn't have a recourse.
Yeah.
point.
I love how they showed that Vader was more than willing to hide all these weapons from the Senate. Like, yeah, this doesn't exist. You're not going to talk to the Emperor and the Senate about this because the freaking Death Star doesn't exist.
That's right.
It's ours, I loved how willing to seize that, man.
Yeah.
And tell me you didn't love the fact that the Death Star the one flaw that everybody makes fun of, like, oh, no one thought about putting a door in the exhaust port. I loved that it was a planned
That's
assault
right.
there.
It was engineered that way on purpose.
It was Bob Ross ruined and then finally saved.
Bob Ross. Happy Death Star.
Oh man, but really, because you always had that joke like couldn't put a cover on the vent, like nope, they designed it that way.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh.
It was cool.
Yeah.
What were you want to talk about?
Oh, flaws.
The flaws.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy because I'm a big guy. They had a big guy flying a fighter. I mean, come on.
X-Wing.
He was flying an X-Wing.
Yeah,
A big guy was flying an X-Wing.
And they killed him too. They always kill the big guys.
Yeah, like Porkins.
Yeah,
That's what
I was
thinking.
sure we were going to get a glimpse of Porkins, and he was going to have one successful mission before the Death Star.
They should have CGI'd Porkins in there.
Oh, I'd have loved it. Nobody knows.
Hey, thank you much, man.
But they did bring one of the original fighter pilots
Yes,
back.
that was him.
voice.
It's either that or that was like too
He had
perfect.
the guy with the southern drawl, or that's kind of how I thought of it.
This is
They
red.
mentioned
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I thought he was going to spit right then and there. That's why I looked over at you. I was like, oh, this guy's going to spit right into the windshield.
Did they
of his
mention
TIE
Wedge
fighter.
Antilles?
No, they didn't.
I could have sworn after they talked about
If I get
Obi-Wan Kenobi, they talked about Wedge
let it,
Antilles.
please. Yeah, thank you much.
What now?
Wait,
They didn't mention Wedge Antilles?
no.
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 I wondered about that myself. I
I
thought,
could have had him. That would have been
yeah.
nice. And Biggs.
But
Is
I mean,
Wedge's first mission in A New Hope? He's not like brand new there, is he?
He was just a young pilot in that one.
I mean, they could have
Oh,
been.
thank you much, man. Thank you much.
I mean, they obviously couldn't have sent every one of their pilots and fighters,
And
so those guys could still be back on Yavin.
and I love that you always
Blue wing, gold wing, and red wing.
yeah, and Blue Wing wasn't around in New Hope.
Yeah.
As they were on the planet.
Yeah, it was gold and red, and
I was wondering if there's any that would make sense to y'all, because I was thinking, maybe it's
Yeah,
time in.
Blue Wing is a new thing for that, and like all the other new characters they introduced, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I also found it interesting that they actually referenced that the Death Star emerged from hyperspace.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always kind of wondered because they never.
not on the side of Yavin.
I was like, how the hell does it get from planet to planet?
No, they
you know?
referenced that in New Hope. You know, they
Well, I mean,
came out of
New Hope,
hyperspace.
it just-
No, they talked.
Death
We
Star?
came out of hyperspace. The moon, blah 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 blah. They came out of hyperspace on the wrong side of the
On
planet.
the wrong side of the planet.
Yeah.
Look,
Have you seen the issue?
Yes, I have.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, maybe the first time you drop out of hyperspace, you can land on the side with the moon.
Okay.
Right.
All right. See, because when I hear that, I just think of Vader on Empire Strikes Back saying, so and so came out of hyperspace too soon, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something about
They did
alerting the
mention that, but it
rebels
was-
to give them time to prepare.
Yeah.
More flaws, just like Force Awakens, they have going into hyperspace or out of hyperspace. And this time they went into hyperspace from atmospheric. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that was. Well, I mean, they were a standstill. There was like no way
I'm
they
not
could do
saying
it.
you do that, you just rip apart. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to have seen.
you go faster than a certain amount of speed in an atmosphere. Yeah.
Right. I was
Well,
going to say
see,
that too.
hyperspace,
That
they're
was
actually
impossible.
entering-
Hyperspace.
Well, how about
in
They're
an
not
atmosphere.
going fast.
Shouldn't
They're entering a
that
wormhole.
Star Destroyer that was leaving the Jeddah atmosphere had some flames around it as it was departing out of there?
Yeah.
I mean, you think you'd see little things like
But yeah,
that.
remember,
Going so-
hyperspace is
Going
not
so slow.
No, it
going
wasn't
fast.
It's like
hyperspace.
Star Destroyer going just
Yeah,
ascending.
that. But I'm saying
I was just talking about how they were traveling out of the atmosphere.
when they
so
jumped
friction,
from the area. The reason
That would have been sweet,
The
though.
reason it wouldn't have been ripping apart is hyperspace is another space. Other space.
Well,
They're
The Speed
entering and
Force.
leaving. Yeah, Speed Force.
Yeah.
There you go.
well, now you're just,
Okay,
now you're just getting into the theory of the whole light speed thing anyway.
Well, in the Star Wars universe, they always talked about like it's a step. It's different. Like
Yeah.
they're not just going fast.
Right. That's what I mean. You get into that. It's a little bit different take on the whole, it's actually folding time and space
Yeah,
in some way
exactly.
to get from point to point.
I loved it whenever those ships were getting ready to burst off into hyperspace, and that Star Destroyer just wrecked them. They're like, and zoom, here we.
Oh, that was great.
That was
Right,
awesome.
right,
Yeah.
right.
There was another instance of, oh crap, they're not all going to get away.
Yeah, barely any of it. Just the little ships.
Instead of like New Hope, when two ships collide, it was.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. We just started cutting the top off of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I started thinking about, in A New Hope, I'm pretty sure they've never defeated the Empire in a battle. So I'm like, how are they going to save this and any of this? And they were able to do it. But I mean, it seemed like they pretty much bombed that one little base on the rainy planet. No problem.
What? Hold on. What was it?
Yeah, it didn't seem like it had very stout defenses except for the TIE fighters and a few turbo lasers.
Right.
But what are you looking up?
The Hammerhead Corvette. I'm trying to remember if that really... I'm almost 100%.
I'm pretty sure that was a pre-existing ship in the original books.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But the Corellian shipyards made a number of different Corvettes.
Yeah.
And they're known for their speed. That was one of the things. They were always overloaded with engines.
Yeah.
The ship was always mostly engine more than anything.
Yeah. We're big nerds, by the way. Me and GunShow read a lot of Star Wars books and a lot of technical manuals on fake equipment.
Whoever's listening to this probably has read all of that and more.
Okay, that's good.
So
that's
you
good.
know.
Yeah. I didn't stop reading the Star Wars books until...
Read, own, research.
What was it? The Yuuzhan Vong? I think that's where I kind of stopped.
Yuuzhan Vong. However you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if people do listen to this, we'll probably get corrections.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I was like 16 when I read them. I mean,
You don't have to defend yourself.
Not
It's
even
okay.
that, but even on
People
the
are just
movie and
wrong.
current canon and all that, we're going to scramble our details.
I hope so. Wouldn't be any
It
fun.
just makes for better discussion.
It does.
Right. And just seeing the movie for the first time, I mean,
Yeah.
can't capture every single.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be really good after the fourth time.
Oh, yeah. Man. Oh, my gosh.
Like for instance, I didn't realize they actually did reference hyperspace in the Death Star
Yeah.
in A New Hope.
The only
Yeah,
reason I really remember that is because I did just see the Ishi again.
But on this one, I
he-
just remember them plainly specifying it.
Is he?
How it should have ended. I'm saying it for the listeners.
I say Hishi, but hey, well.
That's fine. It's spelled his, he. But
What?
It's fun to say
then it's
Hishi.
Haishi.
Hishi. Oh, Hishi. There we go.
Hallway?
Hallway.
Any more glaring flaws?
Are you talking about your phone now?
Will hates that I'll never pronounce it correctly. Ever. I refuse.
Walkway.
Right?
Exactly.
Any more flaws that come to mind?
Darth Vader's equipment didn't light up.
Serious? Like
I thought it did.
on the front?
It did at the beginning, but when he was fighting and he was standing there,
Coming out of the dark, it wouldn't lit.
Dude, his buttons.
Oh, that's true. He was in the dark.
Do his buttons light up in that movie?
Seems like sometimes it.
Yeah.
It
Whenever.
seems like that would be something
He's got like
turn on.
he's got some red
And even
lights.
his belt.
Maybe he's
on the
going
front.
blackout. He knew he wanted to be stealthy. He went blackout.
He's got stealth.
right.
huh?
Yeah, he's like, let's turn those lights off.
He's just like, and then holds his breath for a while, turns everything off. He's like, guys, watch this. Totally come out of the dark on him.
You didn't hear him breathing either. You're right. I mean,
Oh, man.
he wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
You can hear him breathing.
Oh, did
Yeah,
he?
they threw that in a whole lot. When he came out of the dark, it was like,
He just presses the button that plays the breathing sound.
I'm gonna forgive that one because I really think that would have been dumb to have his chest lit up like a LED board. And
The one thing that gives him away is this slight glow in the shadows.
I like that they tried to keep the old
Light bright.
UIs.
oh yeah, we were talking
for
about
like
that constantly.
the different plane.
When they showed the
aircraft and all
plans,
that.
it was like, yeah, it was 1970s computers.
It was, and that's good. I like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Because
Right.
that doesn't ruin.
keeping the levers and everything else.
That's
they
right.
put in the
Yeah,
buttons.
everything had levers and buttons,
Right.
switches.
Yeah.
Everything was manual
Yeah,
and
and
analog.
it's still the same thing with the Death Star with the beam coming down the
Yeah.
tube, you know, and those two guys are in there, they're probably getting radiated every time that happens.
Helmets.
They have
Like,
to-
no.
those guys have to be replaced after every firing of the Death Star.
This is cancerous.
That's what that thing is in the trash compactor. It's one of those guys.
After every firing, yeah.
All right, so another time sequence with the door opening and closing when she was in. Okay, that's the second time they've done that.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is that even? What is that even for?
I don't know.
Who designed that?
I don't know. Whatever time sequence, I just can't see myself always trying to figure out, do I need to go through the door next? And
I did
send
feel
me
like
an hour 3, please.
Me and Bobby were asking that. We were like, why would you design that?
what am I sending?
1 hour,
why
3
would you put
minutes.
the door and close automatically and open?
Sharp
Just got the
edges on it.
WTF.
But it's fast. Like it
He's doing good though. I mean, we're an hour into it.
well, the kids are
proud of
like,
Ash.
It's like a mod, I guess, to Return of the Jedi when he goes through that little tube and he falls into the tube and he slides and flies.
Empire Strikes Back to my friend.
What?
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Was it?
Yeah.
Very
He gets his hand cut off.
Before the end.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Which
sorry.
it looked like a lot of fun. I'm just gonna say.
And I guess the Force guided him to the little tiny hole at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
just got
I
through
felt
watching
like,
both of those movies just the other day.
I did feel like that whole thing was forced in there. I'm like, what purpose does that vent that opens and shuts
thought the
every
same
The
second
scene
serve?
didn't need it at all. Let's just say that. Unless it's manufacturing, it's not manufacturing, it's malfunctioning. It's just. But
Or it is a server room for us geeky guys and nerds. It's a server door that sends in cold air automatically, and it closes and opens.
Yep, and it made it
maybe that's what it's for.
but it had a ladder, and it had really sharp edges. It just seemed like they were asking, like almost like, yeah, sneak down there.
And the giant dish, when they're flying in, did you know at that point, yeah, they're not going to make it out of here? Like, as soon as they said, oh, it must take a lot of data to pass, that's when I thought, they're going to die in that building.
Yeah, I didn't think that, but man, you're right. They did kind of just point that out. Oh man, that was so good.
Old school realignment of the dish.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like
I like
if that's the only way it aims out,
And
why
why
is it
was
not
that
just fixed?
control module out on a big
Exactly.
stand-away deck
Exactly.
from the
But
dish?
it was over that area where the gate was. Like it seemed like the gate and the dish were aligned so that it could always shoot out that way. Why is the dish just not always pointing at the gate?
I don't know. I didn't get that either.
I mean, I get it. It's so that she didn't like almost die, but
in the end, it didn't matter
Well, 'cause
because the whole shield got taken down regardless. So.
Imagine the power to keep that at that orbit without moving, because it's not in the geostationary orbit. It's way
it
too
ain't high
close.
enough.
Way too close.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I got it right. Did they say deflector shields or reflector?
deflector.
Deflector.
Deflector?
Yeah,
Okay.
deflector
I just wanted to make
shield.
sure because.
Deflator mouse.
Deflector shields are 50%.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude, when those two X-Wings crashed into it,
Oh, yeah.
and skidded and the parts
Yes.
broke and skidded apart and stayed on it, I was like, yes.
Bugs on a windshield,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, you know, normally you would think they would just a lot of times explode and there'd be
one
debris.
out of those
they
three
showed
made it
debris
out.
sliding around on.
It was still sliding on that
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah, I was like, that's
And
so
then that
cool.
third guy had just been able to, he was just far
I
enough
think,
away
I think
he
he
could pull
actually shield here, ring here. I think he went like underneath the ring.
up. Yeah.
I was like, that was so cool, flying in between all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
The fighters were good. The pilots were
Mouse
good. I
droids
liked
were
it.
good.
yes.
I love hearing the mouse droids.
Yeah. You know, you made me think.
I like. I'm sorry.
Oh no, here, go here.
I was just gonna say, talking about the satellite dish. It's just make you remember of Return of the Jedi when they destroyed the satellite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So they
that's
had to get
right.
new
The one that was had the force field around the
Yeah,
Death Star.
on the indoors, moon of Endor there.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That was a much different design of a deflector shield. Of course, I guess it was emitting one around something.
But that was a big dish, though, too.
Yeah.
You know, so,
But no, you're talking about all the old computers. I liked that they kept the old computers for Force Awakens too. Everything was old looking. It was a little newer on newer ships, but any old ships still had old.
Like, even the download was like an old school, had like 4 different things it was doing.
bars.
Transfers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they had a transfer bar that works.
Right.
You know,
It seemed like it was actually.
that's how we know it's in the future.
Or in the past.
It's a long
it's in
time
a
ago.
galaxy, a long time
That's how I know
ago.
they're more advanced than us. Not the lightsabers and the other space travel.
It's,
And,
it's the task bar that actually.
Options for
Awesome
different
droids.
types of memory data discs.
Yeah.
Because the original discs were like little plastic, blue and red little discs to record, and now they had the silver one with the gold leaf on it.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
the gold. on it.
gigantic
Yeah.
CAD card.
You know what I loved is Bobby mentioned this, or GunShow mentioned this, that they're crawling around, climbing this huge thing, getting shot at, flinging around, leaping across, grabbing hold. They're all essentially server hard
inside the
drives.
backup. Yeah, they look like server hard drives.
Yes.
And we all know how easy those things are to break.
Climbing on the handles of them.
Yeah. Let's just say that. Like you.
And you notice what
Let's
you
go
took
back
out?
to the data center
It looked
sometime
like a hard
leave
disk.
across and grab hold of another one.
Let's pull out the server room doors and just climb across them.
Yeah, see how well they hold up.
That was
yanked it out
just
and
a
flung it
backup.
around.
That was just their backup.
Yeah.
That wasn't any servers or anything. It was just hard drives.
And true to Star Wars form is they didn't have a quick, easy hit the button and find it. They had to go and use some
Yes.
like weird contraption to make this work.
Yeah, like you're riding around on this thing and
the
you're
tractor beam
shooting.
controllers on this little dangerous.
It's like a librarian's ladder on those really tall
Oh, yeah, it was.
bookshelves.
Right.
You know, it's got to move around and
Don't
get to
just
the
type in
spot
the number you want. No,
Yeah.
you've got to reach up and grab
There's
it.
not a droid doing it.
I'm sure it's got XY coordinates for everything you want. So,
So,
Yeah, when they were climbing it, I was thinking to myself, I'm ashamed I didn't think to myself they were gonna have to climb on that. Like the way it looked, I was like, why didn't I realize they were gonna have to get on there?
Yeah, it was
It wasn't
awesome.
even more attention than just
Yeah. Oh, man.
and that jump she had to make
yeah.
to get over there.
Anybody else wonder why did she climb down the little ways and then jump out when she could have just stood and jumped? It seems like that would have been a better jumping
I don't know, I
position.
didn't notice that.
Again,
I don't know.
Well,
it's throwing back to the old movies.
yeah,
You guys remember when he grabbed Princess Leia and then he shot the little thing?
yeah,
They jumped down.
Oh yeah, they did jump down lower, didn't they?
They came down lower and then they swung across, and we was thinking like, this is never going to happen. This cannot work
Yeah.
with the little belt.
But I mean, just think about it.
But she gave him a
They're
kiss
here.
for good luck.
They're
so
here. It would have been
That helped.
They're having to jump on a wall.
Sister.
This would be a good job. They were like, let's climb down here and then throw ourselves across. It just seemed really like.
God.
But I can't. I'm
Any more
nitpicking.
nitpicks can we come up with?
All right, I got a little trivia for you.
Sure.
Tell me one thing that this movie doesn't have in common with all the other Star Wars movies.
They didn't complete the I have a bad feeling about this line?
Oh, no.
Because they said
They
that.
did.
That's
I
a
have
good
bad
one,
feeling.
though.
Shut up.
Oh.
That's a good one, though.
What?
But,
No control, which
Hold on.
we discussed.
What else do they always have? Trying to think. The Millennium Falcon wasn't in it. Okay, of course, that wasn't in the first three.
Yeah.
No bar.
Oh, the Fox
Are you
opening.
talking about dun 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 dun?
And the
dun,
opening
dun?
Oh,
crawl.
yeah.
That's
The
good, though.
The opening crawl.
The Fox opening, yeah.
And
Yes.
the Fox opening. What's it?
The opening crawl, yeah.
Opening crawl for sure, because Fox opening wasn't in Force Awakens.
Wait, what?
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
20th Century Fox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I was talking about
The opening crawl.
The opening
Yeah, we
crawl.
kind of have a little side bet
with the
going.
background
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, I mean,
I noticed, I was like, wow, that's a new way to open a
they
Star
opened
Wars
it with
movie.
a previously on Star Wars.
Yes.
You know, Jen Erso's
Yeah, instead of
family
writing it
dies.
out,
Yeah,
they
had
gave you the background.
The Star Wars
yeah.
of the cold open before the Rogue One.
yeah.
Right.
Did they do actors' names in the beginning? I don't think they did.
It was
Because remember that was George Lucas's big thing,
yeah.
was not having names, not having the credits in the opening of the movie.
I thought it was great. It was real.
And that got
clean
him
and
kicked
simple.
out of the guilds and crap. And that's why the movies, because with Star Wars, they didn't care. They're like, this, whatever, sure, why not? This movie's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, Empire Strikes Back, they knew that was gonna be a big hit. And Lucas is like, not doing it, not having the credits at the beginning of the movie. And they kicked him out. He never joined out of spite. He never went back and joined, even though he was a huge success. So in the new movies, in the prequels, like 10 years old now, they're not new, more than 10 years old. In the prequels, he wasn't in any of those guilds. That affected the acting, like when he went to hire people. Like,
What, Hayden Christensen?
Yes.
Say it ain't so.
I'm just saying, like,
That's why
That
Natalie
makes
Portman-
sense.
That's why Natalie Portman's all like, I'm going to phone this one in.
yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Ewan McGregor even was kind of
She's a
bad.
good actor.
Ian McGregor was the best part of him.
He was, but he was not as good as
But
Ewan
he had to
McGregor.
play a little bit of Alec Guinness, though.
Yeah.
Sir Alec Guinness.
He gets a pass in my book.
No. Yeah.
Of course, the Phantom Menace is hard to save. Have you
I
seen
don't know.
the?
The end always saved it for me.
Well, it's great.
Yeah.
But have you seen?
Fight scene.
Have you seen whenever Lucas screams the Phantom Menace? There's some DVD extras I've been seeing lately.
What?
When Lucas screams the Phantom Menace, and he's just like, oh.
Really? Really?
And he said, I may have went too far on a few things.
He cringed himself. Huh?
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, that. Yeah.
Hope he cringed with Jar Jar.
Yes. Honestly, almost that and the Nemodians. If you had taken them down quite a bit.
Nemodium AD? What are you talking
Nemodians
about?
were the Japanese characters.
Oh, yeah.
The bankers that were all Asian.
Yeah, the banking clan or whatever they called themselves.
All speaking, they were bad Asian characters.
They were like Asian Japanese knockoff characters.
And they were just really
horrible.
greedy businessman types.
Yeah.
Greedy and cowardly.
They were the ones that were always on the master control droid ships. Get us out of here.
They were like, oh, this is bad
Oh, yeah.
scary. Oh,
Yeah.
how are we doing? It's Godzilla coming.
And it's
It was awful.
It's funny because that stuff carries on in the Clone Wars cartoons.
Yes.
Those dudes have a lot of parts. They continue on in that and talk the same way.
Yeah, I mean, there was people were basically knocking on Watto.
What about him?
Well, I mean, and I didn't see it when I saw the movie.
Stereotypical something?
Yeah, he was a stereotypical something. He was a miserly, short, greedy person.
You can stop there. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't create the character, but why do I feel bad talking about it?
Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
It was bad.
Why do I feel bad recognizing this stereotype you're
Miserly.
creating? You can stop at my...
I got it then.
It was so bad.
Gentlemen over here.
Oh yeah, man, we're doing good.
But, yeah, it's just sort of... It's like, George, what were you thinking?
Yeah, like...
So,
And then, okay, so I'm already... Oh,
no, go
You're gonna
ahead.
get mine, right? Since I get your ticket.
I love the movie,
Yeah, sure.
first off, and I'm done with the movie, but all of a sudden there's this icing at the very end whenever they have the last reveal.
It's not bad. What now?
Honey cut paid.
When they have the last reveal at the end.
I liked it.
When they handed the disc to the princess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
blew my mind.
That's right. Yeah, the other CGI character.
It was so much
Leia,
fun to see Leia.
Which,
I wish my kids would have been awake for that because they like Leia.
I liked it because, I mean, before she turned around, I imagine y'all were probably thinking the same thing I was. Who's it going to be? Is it really going to be Leia? And then...
I was wondering, are they going to show her? Because I was pretty sure it was her. But I was like, are they going to show
It was
her?
nice, young, honey bun hair Leia.
Yes.
Which was awesome. Awesome.
In the white robes.
And the voice seemed right.
Yeah.
So we're talking probably 5 minutes before, or not 5 minutes, but, just not long before she records that message and stick in R2.
Right.
So, because, I mean, you got to assume immediately Darth Vader's already chasing her
Yeah.
Right.
in the Corvette. So,
They jump into
Maybe Darth
hyperspace.
Vader sensed her on there, and that's what stopped him. He was like, wait.
He's like, Oh, I'll torture her later.
I've always, yeah.
Awesome.
This will give me a good excuse to blow up a planet.
That's right.
What kind of name is Rail anyway?
I guess it was Moff Tarkin that moved the planet still. It's such a good flight, man.
Well, she is the princess of the planet. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me where the base is. Okay, cool. Red button anyway.
Yeah. So,
Hey, go look and see if it's there. Man.
you have another target? A military target?
Man. I love how we think about it now. Moff Tarkin was like, nah, don't blow up the whole moon. Let's just blow up the building. Whenever he got it under his name, he's like, I'm going to show everybody what this thing can do. Hey, we're going to blow this planet up.
That's a good point because he even mentions now everyone will witness the full power of this battle.
He didn't want to give that to, what's his head?
Director or somebody.
Krennic.
Yeah, because apparently...
Well, they were still trying to keep it under the radar too.
Yeah.
You know,
Apparently,
You ready to back
the
off?
Senate hadn't been disbanded, but yeah.
You ready to back off your favorite Star Wars movie, or you still feel that way?
No, I'm still feel that way, I think.
Like I'm just comparing it to Force Awakens. I definitely like Force Awakens better, but I don't know, for some reason I'm just tied to the Rey character.
Yeah,
And
no,
then Luke Skywalker is going to be in the next one. I really enjoyed, even though it's a rehash of Episode 4. It was still really good.
I
I don't know if I can place it ahead of any of them, except maybe Phantom Menace.
It's hard for me to say it against Return of the Jedi because that is always my favorite.
What?
Ewoks or not.
Rogue One,
Right.
you can only place it ahead of Phantom Menace.
I like the other ones.
He likes the prequels.
I
He's a little
didn't
bit of
see
an
Star
anomaly.
Wars until I was already a senior in high school.
Oh, that's right.
And so,
See, I was a kid seeing Star Wars, so
Yeah.
New Hope
See,
for
I
me.
was raised on Star
Yes,
Wars.
yeah.
Right.
So for me, Rogue One is better than the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Even Revenge of the Sith?
I feel like it brings me closer to my original trilogy
Yeah.
it does.
that I grew up on.
Right.
You know? So,
And that's the way I feel.
so I'm probably on the fence on whether or not it's better than A Force Awakens, but it's
I think it's definitely, and we'll see how I feel tomorrow. Definitely better than Force Awakens.
but I'm
It seemed like
definitely-
it just dragged for a while there for me. Like I love. Don't get me wrong, I love the movie, but at points I was like, man, this is a long movie, even though it was only 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah. The only failing I can really say against it, no lightsaber battles. If I really might.
And that's what propels Force Awakens far ahead of it for me. Is like the lightsaber battles and the emotion, the family, and all that.
Well, see, I loved all that, but and honestly, still, like, the best lightsaber battle period is Phantom Menace, which is the worst freaking one.
I would
Still
agree.
my favorite
The
battle.
prequels have great lightsaber battles.
But I mean, really, even think about it, the Anakin Obi-Wan.
I like Anakin
good.
Obi-Wan better
That was
than
good.
Phantom Menace.
Clone Wars.
And
was the
everybody had
weakest.
also been waiting for a long time to see Yoda whip out a lightsaber
I did
as
not
well.
like that as much. I mean,
Did you not?
at the
I
moment
liked
I
it.
saw it, I was excited. But always in retrospect, it seemed way too much fan service. You know, it just, I don't know. I would have been fine with,
No, I liked
been
it,
fine
'cause
with
to
him
me
just
it's-
stopping everything, just going like, and then be like, yeah, he didn't even need to fight. He just-
I don't know. I like the Yoda lightsaber battle just because to me it like opened up a whole new realm because I could imagine Yoda as a young boy telling his parents he wanted to be a gymnast, and they're like, no, you have the Force. You got to do something more than that. Because the way he leaps around.
A gymnast.
Oh, everyone's
He was a
Because
gymnast.
Just so you know, guys,
the way he leaps
he had a
around
dead
from
straight
point to
face when he
point
said
in his
that.
lightsaber battle.
2.5 foot gymnast. That's all I want to be.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and his
know.
parents, like, you talk to him about that, they're like, no, you're going to Jedi.
no, look, you're going to
No,
the
we-
Jedi Academy.
Yeah, we know about the
That
Force
is,
on you.
yeah. So,
Yoda got his groove back.
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, but my point was I liked the Yoda lightsaber battle.
And too, but Darth Maul and Obi-Wan, man.
No, that was awesome.
That one's and that's sad. That's my least favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But I'll watch some scenes of it over and over again. Because I thought even the lightsaber battles they showed when they were just killing droids was fun. The two of them are just like,
I like the idea of just two Jedi just going around doing things.
just doing
Wait,
Jedi
what?
things.
Where are you going with this?
At the very beginning.
Wait a minute.
And then, finding themselves.
Jedi's going around doing things.
The old,
Getting to know
the
each
old
other.
priest type,
Go
help
call.
the young boyish looking one.
living on a mountain.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Discovering new things about each other. Eating pudding,
boy.
sitting on fences.
Yeah.
South Park reference. Independent movie.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Bunch of cowboys eating pudding, sitting on a fence.
But anyway, I'm not quite where Clay is, but I would say that for me it's 4, 5, 6, and then I'm on the fence about whether in rank order
Empire's
it's
not
a
number
Force
one for you?
Awakens. Oh, I was just listing the trilogy in order.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Actually,
He's just counting now.
it's and a lot of people give Return of the Jedi a big.
That's bottom for me.
See, I don't
I loved
understand
it.
that because for me, I love Return of the Jedi, but maybe that's because
No,
I was so young when I
Don't
first
get me
saw
wrong.
it. To me, Ewoks were awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, I saw it in the
but yeah, the Ewoks wasn't great for me as a senior in high school.
Yeah, I was 5.
But the Luke and Vader stuff was by far the best stuff of the entire trilogy for me.
and that space
Like
battle.
them
was
walking together as father and son was the best thing of the entire.
The space battle for me in Return of the Jedi was my
Maybe some
favorite
of-
up until now.
Maybe some of the screenwriting was bad for me in Return of the Jedi because it was just like, I know there's the good in you. Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
I could sense it, Father. He should have started calling Father fast.
He did.
You know, like
you could have just cut my hand off.
you know, you can still call him Darth. You don't have to call him Dad. Yeah.
Well, he's not calling him like Daddy affectionately. He's just referring to him. It's just the title of father because he knows that he's his father.
Yeah.
Like he can sense it to the force.
Probably trying to give him that little nudge, like Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, New Hope.
There's probably
for me is
20-page
number
paper on
one
that.
because that's what I grew up on, and it made me want to try to use the Force and sit around and try to move objects with my mind. So, New Hope for me, and then Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. I want to say that one is because that's sometimes a little.
And then Rogue One tied. It makes me now understand at the beginning when she comes out of hyperspace, and then you have Darth Vader right behind her, just attacking, just shooting and attacking, and then she sends off the 2 droids to go find Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it just makes me now see.
Yeah, man.
What
boy,
happened?
Dear Lord, that is like minutes away, or at least hours away, probably. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean
It's like
literally butts up against it.
Yeah, it just depends on whether or not R2's on that ship.
He's
got it.
Where else is he? All the rest of them are blown up and taken.
No, R2 was on Yavin 4 whenever the fleet was leaving.
The fleet was at Yavin 4.
Yeah.
Remember, the Admiral was on the ground with the Council.
No,
And then they're like,
Vader
because Mon Mothma was like, I need to speak to Admiral so-and-so.
The Corvette gets away from Vader. Leia's on that one. They're leaving the Skyrim world.
Scarab. Whatever it is.
They're leaving Scarab. They're not
I get
Yavin
what you're
4.
saying.
Well, honestly,
She transfers the information over because he's on a different ship.
No, here's the thing. He was on Yavin 4 on the ground when they were showing a bunch of the X-Wings leave. The X-Wings left first. And then the main fleet didn't get there until a little bit later. So you're right. It could take a minute. We're like, come on, droids.
Well,
get on the phone.
here's the deal. I think we're kind of convoluting a little bit. But
Yeah.
the fleet, which is led by Admiral, what was his name? The
Not
Mon
Akbar.
Calamari? Yeah. Admiral not Akbar.
Yeah. Fat Akbar, I don't know.
Right, he was there with the Council, so you know he's not going to be far from his Mon Calamari cruiser, which that was, you know, the interesting thing, and a little bit of nerd coming out here. The interesting thing about the Mon Calamari
First time
cruisers
tonight.
is that they're starliners, you know, and they're built with a ton of redundancy, but everyone's original. None of them look the same.
Yeah.
So I liked that in that movie, it didn't look like the other Mon Calamari cruisers
And
you're
they're
used
good,
to seeing in the other
good
movies.
cruisers, too.
Right.
Yeah, they're
styles and-
sturdy, they're redundant systems, and they build them. Anyway, I got off on a big tangent there. So the fleet, which is commanded by Admiral Not Akbar, and, you know, they're there with the Council, and then you got to reference back to the point where Bail Organa has to find someone he trusts, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I trust her with my life, talking about Leia.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is set up, and those droids are probably, I mean, R2 and C-3PO, you know, are probably Leia's
Or at least on her
personal
staff.
assistants or something at that point.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they've been along for the ride since the
Bale
prequels.
took them. You're
And-
right.
that's
Bale,
right.
So they probably are with.
So they're paired up with Leia on that Corvette. I mean,
You see them on the
we
ground.
see them on the ground later in the movie.
No, you
on
see them on the
Yavin
ground
4,
right as the
in one of those temples.
X-Wings are taking off.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
they talk about, hey, can you get this taken care of too? And he's probably like, yeah, sure, we'll get that taken care of.
yeah, because
and then-
all of a
and-
sudden they're scrambling
Well,
once
see,
they realize they
Scramble the
launched
fighters
an
first, is what
attack.
I'm saying.
Well, what I'm arguing is Vader could be minutes behind if R2's on that ship. I'm just saying we don't know.
I'll go back and watch it, but
I can comfortably say he is.
he's
but-
on that ship. Yeah, I can say
I
he's on
totally
that
believe
ship.
he is. I'm just saying we don't have any
No.
Definitive
evidence
evidence.
in the movie that he is.
Yeah. You're right. It could be days
But
away.
it totally makes sense that he is.
Yeah. Because I think now that's why, because I was so confused by that conversation about Obi-Wan and all that shit. Because I was like, did I miss something? Why are you asking about Obi-Wan? They probably just shoved that in there to inquire that, oh yeah, now this is going to happen.
We send me an hour 27.
Oh, crap.
Why did he say that's what?
Yeah.
It's fish.
Okay, hour
I don't think I
28
really have
also.
anything to say. I'm sorry.
Hour 27
Let's
and
do it.
hour
Yeah,
28.
we get marked not clean in the text downloads.
Okay. So you're right.
So
Be R2.
I'm glad you don't think that. But unfortunately, iTunes does.
Okay. Unclean. I'm unclean.
There it
And
goes.
iTunes clean.
Sweet.
All right.
I'm unclear.
You got a trifecta now. Way to go.
Yes, I didn't do all of them.
All 3 of those edits are because of you.
No, one of the edits is because you.
Oh, well, y'all started talking about coworkers. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's all my fault, Bob.
you're right. My bad.
Yeah, but you prompted it.
See all that
Oh, wait.
school of journalism
What do y'all
that I
do?
had.
did
You
not.
prompted it with the coworkers.
One of y'all.
You don't like.
No, so they're crappy coworkers, you know, like.
Oh, don't start it again.
Yeah, we won't. Levi's just trying to find a way. It's my fault.
Okay, so does it fit? Where does it fit?
Where's the fit?
Yep. You said possibly greatest at this point. You don't know.
It's hard to go
You
back.
said nothing
to
could be the
the
new hope.
Right, but I
think it's better
for me,
than, like, Force Awakens, or-
it fits exactly third.
Really?
Yeah.
So, wow. But so it's the only thing it's not ahead for you is Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope.
That's right. Yeah.
Man.
Could you rank all 8 of them at this point?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it look like for you, Ash?
I'm going to have to still keep it on top right now just because overall, I'm not feeling like, when I think about Empire Strikes Back or that, I'm always in the scenes I loved that I would go back and watch. But
Yeah.
seeing the whole movie would be hard. So let's say this is my number 1.
So Rogue,
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi,
Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens,
Rogue,
Hope,
6, 5, 7, 4,
Revenge of the Sith,
3, 2, 1.
and honestly, Phantom Menace before Clone Wars. So Clone Wars is bottom.
Wow.
Phantom Menace is the bottom. I mean, Clone Wars is the bottom. Just because everything about Clone Wars annoyed the piss out. They annoyed the stuff out of me.
Interesting.
Whiny Anakin.
All right, podcast is about half over now.
Yeah.
You did that.
All right, where are you? Yeah.
Where am I?
Yeah, how's your ranking?
I think
I can tell you where I am.
I'm 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that order, really? That's cool. I mean, it is.
And then, yeah, that's my order, I think.
4, 5, 6, 7.
4, 5, 6, maybe Rogue One, 7,
Okay, all right.
and then 3, 2, 1.
Really, you go right at that end. Man, so they just kept getting better for you as the prequels went.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's good.
These things
There was nowhere to go but up after that. What? That's a very optimistic way to put it.
Yeah. So
I would say it so that there was nowhere to go but up after the first one. So,
See, there's a lot of things to take away from the first one, but it was overall had some good. If you cut some stuff out, like the pod races and the gun guns, and just it'd be a pretty good movie.
He cut everything else with the Duel of the Fates.
oh yeah.
Okay, so
and see, for me, of course it's 4, 5, Rogue One.
wow, it's like
6.
stupid Ewoks.
Force Awakens. And they kind of just mesh.
It's a blur, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
it
ball the
meshes.
bottom
It
of
meshes for me right there.
Ball the prequels
Yeah.
up and throw them on the ground underneath all that. Is that what you're saying?
I think they could have did a better job with the prequels. That's just me, but
Yes.
I'm sure George Lucas thinks the same thing to this day. So, if I had some do-overs.
My ratings, and this has nothing to do with movie making quality or anything. It's just basically my favorite ones for completely subjective reasons. Empire Strikes Back, number 1. A New Hope, mainly because I just love the early Tatooine stuff for some reason, the Dual Suns and all that. But so much of it is so bad.
He's into moisture farming.
Yes, definitely. What is it? Farming, huh? What? A little beneath you, isn't it? So 5, 4, and then I stick 7. 5, 4, 7, and I'm conflicted because I like so much about 3. I kind of put 3, 4, 6 before Return of the Jedi. 5, 4, 7, 3, 6, and Rogue One's somewhere around 6, around Return of the Jedi for me. And then 2 and 1. So 5.
That hurt my brain.
It did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around
So
that.
Empire, A New Hope, Force Awakens, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the... and somewhere around Return of the Jedi is Rogue One. Probably below Return of the Jedi. And then Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Yeah, I expected Revenge of the Sith to be higher for you.
That's high for me. I mean, I love Empire Strikes Back.
I just expected it to be like one of the first 3.
Well, here's the thing.
For him.
I really like Force Awakens. Like a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And most of that
It's right.
is where it's going. Which could totally be shot down.
Yeah. And see, I think that's why it's hard for me to like it. It's because it's the beginning, and I know it's just the beginning. It's like
And I did
first
like
bite.
the race stuff. I've got 2 daughters. And it was cool to see them do a girl take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they both got into it and actually enjoyed the movie towards the end. The Kylo Ren stuff is kind of weird, but I do like it.
I liked
The
it.
Snoke mystery could be really good.
Oh,
I don't know.
I can't wait to see where that
I
goes.
don't really know. I think they could really screw it up really bad,
Yeah.
but once it's revealed he's Jar Jar, it's going to make all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
See, the problem with that is I know it's the beginning, so I'm frustrated because I'm like, I want the rest.
Oh,
I walked out unsatisfied. I mean, I was satisfied, but unsatisfied.
I am sad it's not
And I
coming
know
out
the
in May.
second one I'm going to be really mad because Empire Strikes Back was unique because I think they were kind of like, wow, we didn't expect them to get to make this. So they made a pretty good movie. That's why it was so good. But normally when you have a trilogy, the middle one's always like, kind of like, did we need that? Like, think about Lord of the Rings. My least favorite was the whatever.
Well, the
second
middle
one was
act in
called.
anything is
It's just,
the weak part of the stories.
which was surprised. That's why Empire I think was so strong. Is they were shocked. They're like, whoa. They're almost like, let's start this story going.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like the beginning all over again. You know. They went crazy places with it. You know.
When I really think about it, I'm thrilled that we even get to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I can remember back to the 90s and 80s watching 4, 5, and 6 and thinking they're titled 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Where's 1, 2, 3? Where's and they're not even being brought up that there actually might ever be a possibility that additional ones would ever be made.
Having no internet
except for that
to look at
knockoff.
these questions.
Except for that one knockoff Ewok movie he made, and I can't even remember what that was called.
2 knockoff Ewok movies.
There were 2?
And the Wookiee Life.
The Ewok Adventure and Ewok Adventure 2 Battle for Endor.
And the Wookiee Life Day.
Oh, I don't remember
holiday.
that. I only remember the first one.
Yeah.
And what?
The Wookiee Life Day holiday movie they made.
Yeah, the first one had the giant pig thing, right? Giant pig monster.
And the
with
spiders
big
and
spider.
stuff.
Oh,
yes, the spiders. The spiders terrified me.
Was
You
it a
should watch it
cartoon?
with kids. No, it's
No,
live action.
it was live action with 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Second one begins where the little girl's entire family gets murdered.
Oh, yeah.
And then she has to get saved by, who's the old, the oatmeal guy? Brimley.
Wilford Brimley?
Wilford Brimley has to save her.
If you'd have said diabetes, I'd have gotten it immediately.
Wilford Brimley uses the power of diabetes to save this girl. He uses the power. But yeah, Wilford Brimley uses the power of diabetes to save this girl.
See, to me, those are like lost movies. No one replays those. You don't see them
I
on
don't
any
think you can get them on
cable
DVD.
channels.
If I would
That's what I
buy
was
them.
thinking. I've never seen them for sale anywhere.
If I can find them, I will buy them.
I'm sure you can find them on eBay or
Watch them on
Amazon.
YouTube.
Yeah,
You think
can,
so?
You're right.
You can watch the Wookiee Life Day one. It's,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, but I was
the
talking
worst
about
thing ever
Ewok
created,
movies.
though.
Yeah.
But I remember as a kid watching the
Fett's in it.
Ewok movie.
That was actually Boba Fett's introduction. Yeah.
What?
Said, good lord.
The holiday
remember the
special,
Ewok
the Star
movies?
Wars holiday
No.
special.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't.
I've tried to watch it too. I've actually listened to a Stuff You Should Know did a podcast on it. It was incredibly just wild how insane that was, and how bad the production of it was, and how high like everybody was.
And I love the beginning where it's like 5 straight minutes of the Wookiees talking. There's no subtitles. They're just like... You're just like, what's going? What are they saying? Like Grandma Wookie comes out like... Like back in her day, I don't know.
Subtitles.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I love it.
I think you'd have to be high to watch that.
I gotta be really high to watch that.
Or something wasted, but
Yes,
yeah.
no,
To get anything out of it.
Yeah, oh my gosh. But honestly, I really, as bad as they are, as a child watching them back then, both Ewok movies loved. You know, being like, I don't know, 8 years old maybe, and been like, there's other Star Wars stuff out there? Like, this is great.
This is awesome. Can't wait till the Jedi show up.
I seem like the second one. It seemed like the second one.
Right.
They introduced an evil sorceress too, which are like, magic.
You know what? That sounds familiar. Maybe I did see the second one.
Like the leader
I
guy
just
gets
remember-
turned into stone.
Yeah, see,
That's really
I'm
weird.
sure if I watched those, I would have flashbacks.
It must have been really
I've
bad
heard about
if I
them,
haven't
but I've never
watched
seen
it.
There was a warrior race that you had to watch and go, well, while they were on Endor, why didn't they go get those guys to help fight the Empire? Because they're like all bad.
Yeah, because you just assume there's nothing but Ewoks on Endor.
Could you send me an hour
What's that
39?
movie called? Endor 4 hour 39. Gotcha.
Is there anything else we need to wrap this up with before we're done?
Now he's got a trifecta.
Anything else in this movie?
Now I have a try. Now I've done it.
You did great. You made it a whole hour.
Well, the kids left.
The kids
The kids left. I didn't really,
Yeah.
I didn't worry about it so much.
Yeah. 3 minutes past an hour.
Yep, Wilford
What he
Burnley
made it
was
to.
Noah. Sindel Talwani. Oh boy, she grew up rough.
Oh boy. Sindel Talwani?
Like, there's the little girl in the movie. You know, cute little, just normal,
They're very Mad Max looking kids in a Star Wars
look
movie.
what she looks like now.
Wow.
Poor girl. She's our
It's
age.
just a bad picture. She's beautiful.
Yeah, the
She's
picture on the
outraged.
right looks pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, that's odd. No wonder that was a good movie for me. She's
your age.
Where
that
are
was
you
kids
going?
cute. I'm just saying, I loved those movies as a kid. Yes.
I can't wait to look those up tonight.
Jeez.
No, but I mean, as a kid, I liked the movies. I did. I won't lie. It's
got you.
more stuff. I just gotta
So,
find.
yeah.
I gotta find these guys.
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure I liked them too because I have memories of them, but I don't remember ever watching them again or seeing them. I just remember where I was when I watched them, and I was at my grandparents' house because back in that day, cable in the 80s was just becoming a thing or whatever, and I remember they had cable and it was a big deal because we had 3 channels at home,
Yeah.
and we could go there and watch movies. And I remember those Ewok movies being on cable there.
There's something like that I remember. It was
They probably are on cable. We just can't find them. They're all the way down the on-demand stuff.
Yeah.
no, George Lucas tried to bury a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was Wizard of Oz that had a cartoon remake. My parents had to sit me in a room in the bedroom to watch something while they did whatever adults do at night, whatever.
Yeah. Bring up.
Had a party or something. I remember watching the cartoon version of Wizard of Oz before I'd seen the original and thought it was awesome. And then when I saw Wizard of Oz, I was like,
What is
this
this,
is
garbage?
not nearly as good as that cartoon I was watching.
Hmm.
But anyways, I don't...
These guys. When you get those guys, why do you go get the Wookiee? I mean, the Ewoks.
Why do you need the Ewoks?
Yeah, what do you need the Ewoks? Those guys are on the same planet.
White Walkers?
Pretty much, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you sure
Ewoks
that
are the
wasn't a TV show at
White
one
Walkers
time
are-
or another?
It was a
That was
TV
like
movie.
Planet
Children
of
of
the
the
Apes meets
Forest.
White Walkers.
Yes.
The Ewok Adventure. You can buy the Ewok Adventure movie for $14.99 from Walmart with free shipping.
Oh, I'm buying them.
And then
Oh, you're going to be so
here's the
disappointed.
1984
Oh, well, but you can let your kids watch it.
They're
battle.
not going to watch it.
Dude, it's little kids saving the day.
No.
You can buy them as a package, both Ewok movies for $30.
They might actually watch it. They like cute
DVD.
things. They like Ewoks.
The Caravan of Courage and,
that's it.
the Battle for Endor.
That's great.
And
Anyways, guys.
This lady.
Let's do some more body
This lady was the witch. For her, it's so bad.
Wait. She a nice sister?
No. I mean, she might be retroactively, but she was magic. Like magic.
I do not remember that.
They're very magical force
No,
users.
like, it has a stone that when it gets broken off this guy's neck,
They were made
he turns
for
to
TV
stone.
movies.
Like, just...
Kind of like that guy, the old TV show where when his hat fell off, he'd turn back into a mannequin.
Oh, and there was this guy.
Nobody?
Apparently, there's speedster
No,
Ewoks.
old Saturday morning
Yes.
TV show?
Yeah.
Saturday special or Today special?
Yeah, Today's Special. You know, it was really kind of... There were some terrifying Today's Special episodes.
Yes. Oh.
It's a trailer.
Today's special? Oh, I got you.
Anyways.
See, that thing's very Jim Henson to me.
Get out of here. And that's very
There's that
Jurassic
pig
Park.
that you're talking about.
Yeah, the kidnaps her parents.
There's the spiders.
He didn't eat them.
I remember
He
the
just
spiders.
takes them and puts them in a big hanging...
Wow, it's like stop motion animation there.
Oh, yeah. Which is what made it all the more terrifying. There's also Speedster
Industrial
Ewoks.
Light and Magic.
Watch.
Let's see. Speedster.
There's Wicket. And this little guy just keeps zipping around like zip, zip.
That's great.
Yeah, see?
What in the world?
Yeah. Wicket gets really mad at him because he's stealing all his stuff.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Rogue One, go watch it.
It's canon.
Oh,
Speedster Ewoks.
Yes, Rogue One.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Oh my gosh.
Highly recommend.
Thanks for recording with me, guys.
You're welcome.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good movie.